Good afternoon. It's 3:30 in the afternoon to be exact. Yes, I'm in the workshop again, but it's a little different video this time. Now, some of you probably have been watching my videos with the General Ham class license, and I got it, my nose is itching now, sorry about that. And you probably heard me mention that I'm a technician, I have a technician class license, and I've had it since 1992. In the shed here, in the main shed, I have an Alinco DJ195. That was not my first HT that I had. The story of this goes back a number of years. The first one I got was a Radio Shack. I think it's an HTX 202 or something like that. Big heavy brick, weighed about 2 pounds. That was my first HT that I got when I got my license in 1992. Then, when I went to a ham radio auction in the 90s, I can't remember when it was, I won a door prize of the Alinco DJ195, which is right here. The only problem with this radio is it does not use a rechargeable battery pack, but six AA's. Well, this has been sitting in a bag right here for at least 10 years. The last time I used this was in 2006 when we went to New Hampshire. I just had it with me, but I didn't communicate with anybody. And that was the last time I used it. And I've got the repeater book 2001-2002. At that time it was $9. I'd hate to see what it is now. But I had good eyesight then, so I was able to see that fine print. But that's beside the point. The stupid goat left the batteries in this, the alkalines. And this is the battery pack here. I took out the old batteries, I cleaned up the contacts, resoldered the wire that came off due to corrosion, and put new batteries in, and I'm getting the readings on here, but the radio don't work. So what I'm going to do is to put 9 volts into the pins in here. There's 2 contacts here. I'll show you, I'll get you a close-up of that. But because of my piss-poor eyesight, I messed up the contacts trying to pull these pins up to make connection with these pins in the back here. Now, I didn't look on the internet, but I'm sure they make a battery pack that'll fit this Alinco, but it'll probably cost me more than it's worth. So you probably say, well, wait a minute now, you just showed an HT. Yes, I did. $25 radio, a Bofang UV5R Plus. Okay? But I wanted to find my original HT, and it took me a long time to find it. I spent well over an hour in the shed. It was in a box underneath Uncle Dorkle. So, and everything had mildew all over it. Not the radio, but everything else around it had mildew, including that black case I just showed you. So, I can't get this thing to work on the radio. The radio will not come on. You hold the button, it will not come on. The radio did work, but I was shocked that I left the batteries in. The problem is with this type of radio, and I'm going to show you a close-up, the problem with it is you have to take out 2 little screws here, take this cover off, and then remove this cover, and then you've got 6 AA's inside. it's kind of like these out of sight, out of mind things. Because I very rarely leave batteries in things unless I'm using them often. Then I keep an eye on it, like flashlights and stuff. So this won't come on. So we're gonna do now is I'm gonna set this power supply here for 9 volts with a voltmeter on it. And I'm going to see if this Alinco will come on. There's 2 little buttons here, and I want to show you, so I'm going to get you a close-up right now. Before I get on to the bench here, you're probably wondering, this is what you've been hearing. I should have turned this down. This was in the shed too, buried, a Radio Shack scanner, but it won't even pick up the HT. I set it on simplex 14652, and you can't hear nothing on this. So I don't know what happened to this, but I was going to put this in the shop here, probably up in here maybe. But it's dead for some reason. You just barely hear. You don't hear the audio at all, and you just barely hear a little tiny, like there's something there, and you know, it doesn't pick up anything. So anyways, I was playing around with that. And this here is a 440 HT Radio Shack that I got real cheap at a ham auction at the time that I won this radio. And it works, but it had issues. And I cleaned it with alcohol because for some reason, whatever the stuff is they used on this, a rubber coating, it was sticky as hell. But this is strictly 440, or as they say, 70 centimeters. And it takes, I think, either two or three double A's or triple A's. I can't remember. And it's icky looking because of the alcohol. The whole thing was so sticky, you know, you just couldn't use it. But I can't remember the model number of this now. I can look it up. I guess it's underneath this belt clip here. But anyways, that's not the subject of the video. I want to try to fire this thing up. And if I can't get this battery pack to work, then I'm going to have to try to order a rechargeable battery for this. But that would probably mean a recharger. See, when I won this radio, like I say, it's an Alinco DJ195. This is the way it came. It came with this a battery pack in the back of it. And it states do not use NiCads. Or you can use alkaline, which is what I had in here, and it worked fine. 6 of them. But for some reason, the battery pack shows power at those terminals. And I brought the contacts out. I'm going to put you on a tripod here so you can see a little better what I'm doing. I got to make some room on this bench, so we'll be right back. I've been studying, by the way. I'm only in chapter 2 on this ham test here. Not getting too far, but I'm plugging away, and I'm on the internet too, so, you know, it's not just a book. All right, so hang on a minute. I got to make a little room here. Not on macro, because I think we'll be out of focus if I'm about, I would say a foot, 15 inches maybe, 16 inches. Okay, so radio does not come on. Okay, it worked in 2006, but I had no idea. I just put it away, you know, like everything else. It gets shoved in the back of the shed. This has the BNC type of antenna, where the Bopang has a SMA female antenna, So anyways, I'm going to release this. Never remember which way to... There it goes. Okay. I'm going to show you my mess up here. Go on macro now. I tried pulling the contact up, and I bent it really bad. I think it's this one here. So I just should learn not to try to work on this tiny, tiny stuff. Now there's 2 screws. I got one out. I'm going to open this up again. But before I do, I'm going to show you that I am getting the voltage out of here. So all the contacts are clean in there. They were all green, like goo on there and everything, but it all came off good. And the contacts themselves are nice and shiny. So it didn't, fortunately it didn't hurt it. Alright, let's see now. What did I do with the other screw here? I'm always losing things on this bench. Well, I don't know what happened to my little micro screw, but it looks like I might have lost the other one. Alright. I don't like this system at all. Alright. What it was is I did some soldering. This wire came off here. Right here. On this terminal. And it takes this is not an easy thing to open. It's telling you to pull, but you can't really pull it. I don't want to snap it off. I can't see the slot in there. It's to get my face right up in it. Well, take my word for it, there's 6 AA's in there. This is what I hate about this HT. I never liked it because of this idea. You know, but these batteries are all, I just put them in, and I'm getting my voltage off of it. And I'll double check it, make sure I'm still getting my voltage. Oh, what a job getting this back together. Okay. Alright, she's down flush. Now let's just put my meter on that. And we can get you over here. Using the HT as a... so you can see it. I guess you can see that, I don't know. Let me just put this HT under it. Okay, I hope you can see that. .49 volts. Okay, that's what I'm getting on this now. 9.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little over 9 volts on the terminals right here, and I'll get you a close-up of that. See these 2 little nipples here? This is the negative and this is the positive. Okay? That's the positive. That's the negative, which is the ground of the radio and also your heat sink. So I'm going to take my power supply and I'm going to feed in negative here. And be very careful just to hit the tit right here. And see if I can jockey the power button and see if it comes on. If it don't come on, there's got to be something wrong with the radio. And I have no idea how to fix it. Radio worked in 2006 and it hadn't been used since. But the stupid goat left the batteries in it. But as you saw on the battery holder... on the contacts, it showed almost about 9.5 volts. I'm putting in 9.34 volts into the into my DVM right now from my power supply here. And as you can see, it's just a hair under the 10 volt here. I love this power supply. This is right on the money. So that's what we're going to do, and we got the current down real low. We're not transmitting. All I want to do is just see if the radio comes on the display. So we got the current very low on this power supply here. We're not drawing any current yet because we're not hooked to the radio. I got my finger on the power button here. Here's the power button right there. So I'm going to hold the ground wire on the chassis here, and then I'm going to touch it here, and then I'll hit the thing. And I can't tell if the display comes on, but I might be able to hear a noise out of the speaker. Not sure. It's not the way I like to do things. I don't think I can't get my clip on the ground here. And I don't really want to take the antenna off and use the shell of the BNC for ground, which would work, but you know, then should this key up, it could damage the transmitter, so we don't want that to happen. So we will see if I can jockey myself here. I may have to speed this video up here.
All right, let's see if I can do this now. Gotta be a contortionist. Here's the power button. Remember, this other kit on the right side here is the negative. Well, I don't hear anything. And actually I can't tell if this comes on. The problem with this radio is there's no DC input on this. In other words, if they do have a rechargeable battery pack for this, the recharging part would have to be on the battery itself. If it was on the radio itself, I'd be able to feed the power in that way. There's a possibility that the radio could have crapped out, but how can it was never used since 2006. That's the last time it was used, and the batteries leaking in here would have nothing to do with the radio here. There was no corrosion here. Although I cleaned these anyways with CC cleaner, and I put a little tiny bit of deoxit on the pins. I did the same with these. So,
nothing. All this is the power. I mean, it's been years since I used it, but there's just the power button that you just hold down. There's no switch up here. This is a, I think this is the volume control up here, and that's all it is. You can feel it, you know, it's got that indentations on it, you know, as you tune this. So, it's very difficult for me to find out if this power is even getting to the radio. Now, it's the power button upper left, right here. Well, once again, I'm going to check these, you know, see if there's voltage here, and I'm sure there still is. So we know the connections are okay inside here. I left these screws out for now, but I don't think I have to do anything in here, because if it wasn't getting voltage here, then yes, there would be an issue inside. So either these things are not making contact with the two nipples on the back of the radio right here, or the radio's dead. Something died in it. Now, sitting all these years in a box in the shed, I don't know, maybe electrolytic went bad in it. If there is, this is beyond me. The only guy I know that could do this, and I wouldn't ask him to, is, he'd be the only guy I know that could do this. Well, Mike probably would too, But it was a freebie, so I'm not going to go too crazy about it. I mean, I got the Bofang. Not as good a receiver, but what do you expect for a $25 radio? This was probably a $200 radio. This was probably the low end of the Alinco at the time, being that it didn't come with an actual rechargeable battery pack. Instead, it came with a battery holder. It did not have a battery pack or a charger. This is the way I got it. It was a free gift, a door prize, so I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. All right, so let me check this voltage again and do one more on here. Maybe I can find some way to keep the wires on here. Okay, I moved the meter up. I hope there's no glare on that. I can't tell in the viewfinder. I think it's okay. If not, well, there's nothing much I can do about it except tell you what the voltage is. Not sure which is the positive and which is the negative now. I think this is the positive. It don't matter. It's going to read minus 9.58 volts. Okay? All right, so we know we're getting the voltage out of here. And this one's up a little higher because I screwed this one up. I should not have tried to bend it out. I think it's the radio and not this. So I might have ruined the battery pack. Story of my life. I ruin things when things that I can't see to work on. I usually ruin them. So let's turn this off. We already got the power supply set for the proper voltage. So we don't need to double check it again. We can, but I'm sure it's still where it was. 9.33, 9.33, 9.34. It hasn't changed because I didn't touch it. All right, so now we'll turn this off. I think, yeah, you're in view. Let's get you down a little bit here. Okay, let's make sure we're on the chassis here. If I turn this over, well, the power supply is down on a very low current rating. You can hear the click without even a quarter of an amp. Let's turn this current down as low as I can get it. Oh, that's okay. The current is shorted is about 1/8 of an amp. So I think I can safely turn this over. Make sure the ground goes on here. That's going to be fun. Yes, it lights up. I just saw the display light up. Okay, so I'm going to say this radio is okay. But why it don't work here, I don't know. It's not making contact. I'm going to end this video.
How's that for a show? Huh?